here from Foreign Leamington. So it's July and time for our next video to help you prepare for the Regency 10K. So this month we're going to focus on probably what I see the most and what people get sent to me for is running when we are fatigued. Okay, that's the caption of this month's title and we're going to look at what happens when we run fatigued. I'm going to chat through how to avoid it and how to stay away, because we're ramping up the time, we're ramping up the distance. For some of you, 10K is fine, okay, but we can still take notes and positive notes from this video. For some of you who are running the first ever 10K, you may have run smaller amounts or never run at all, this video will be vital. Okay? When we run fatigued, we move differently, okay? This affects load into our bodies and it brings in the one thing we don't want, and that's injuries. Okay, so as a sports therapist, and many of them here at Foreign Leamington, we are trained to biomechanically assess your running gait. Okay, we use various methods of video or treadmills or iPads to look at your movement, slow down and assess what's going wrong. One of the ways we look at fatigued running is we get you to run for a fair bit, or we look at a video of you running when you are pretty fatigued. But this is when we see again and again the same issues reoccurring in our clients when they are fatigued. These are a low knee drive when fatigued. We're not running in that positive fashion. We get a little bit upright and a little bit droppy in the knee. That then sets off a chain of command in terms of errors. So a low knee drive will then increase a lower amount of glute activation, probably the most important thing when we're looking at running for a longer period of time. Okay, that then knocks on down, okay, in terms of a poor foot posturing, okay, and placing onto the ground, which can create a whole load of loading injuries, gait analysis problems, and effects from ankle, knee, hip, right into the back, and really does cause us some problems. First thing, if I'm about as a sports therapist, we had you on the treadmill here, we've seen a slower video of you running, and we see that this knee, that drive knee on both sides, just starts to drop a little bit as you become fatigued, because it's harder, you're more tired, it's natural. We're going to ask you to change that, okay, and that's the point we'll come on to in a moment. But first you need to pace yourself through a run, okay? It's standard stuff, isn't it? We hear it all the time. Do not just go off in a mad rush. Pace yourself. Step one, you don't need to repeat. Is focus on how you're running. How many of you actually think about how you're moving? Think about how you're running. We get taught how to swim and walk and play every other sport, or unless you've gone to an athletics club in the past, have you ever been taught how to run? Okay, just think about how you're moving and try and listen to that body as you move. What's happening and how are you feeling when you move? Have a listen, how does it sound, etc. Listen to your running, okay, and really have a think. Number 3, keep a healthy knee height. Okay, it's going to be difficult, it is harder, and there's research on running which says, okay, you can keep a lower knee height and still perform. We find it nice and easy for you to think about one thing when you run and keep that maintaining. It's a difficult thing to do running, okay, so if you can think of one thought, it's knee height and keeping it nice and driving forward, because when we have a good positive knee height, we propel ourselves forward. When we go lower and that foot flicks further away from us, you start to decelerate, okay? It becomes harder to run. Okay, so focus on a knee height. You will need to pace yourself. We're asking you to do a bit more, but it's much more economical. It helps a positive foot position on the ground and it engages our glutes, the most important bit of advice, okay? Finally, with this knee height, with a higher drive, you're gonna have to think about your core. We're gonna have to focus on it. Are you using your core, or are you just knackered and are you just running and rotating through, or are you keeping a tight form of a knee drive through and a tight core? So to recap, pace yourself, focus on how you're running, think about it, have an intrinsic thought of how you're running, keep a healthy knee height, keep that drive there, and with that, finally, hold in your core. These things will help you run when you are fatigued to focus on. Don't just bundle through, okay, because then the injuries come. And if you do this, your foot posture, your knee drive, your glute activation, and any lower back pain will be decreased, and doing these things will really help. Okay, so stick to those 4 key thoughts.